What's going on? Your boy O Scruggs here, OS Sports Podcast. Told you when we first started this podcast I was going to be doing other things besides just sports. We was going to mix in pop culture, a little bit of politics, social events, things that are going on in the world. So for this one, I want to get into one of my favorite artists, somebody that I've been following since 1994 when they first came out with their debut album. And they recently just put out an album on Monday, and I wanted to do a little review on it. So if you know me, you probably know who this person is. But if you don't, I'm talking about Nasir Jones, Nas, rapper, Queensbridge. So he recently, I'm making this video on Sunday. So on Friday, he put out a project. His latest album is called Lost Tapes 2, The Lost Tapes 2. Now, if you're familiar with Nas, he put out a project called The Lost Tapes. Well, it was just called Lost Tapes. It wasn't called Part 1 yet because there was no Part 2. And that was in 2002. So basically what the Lost Tapes series is, it's unreleased records. Not records that Nas did. Maybe he didn't complete them, or he completed them and he didn't feel they were right for the album, or got lost in the shuffle somewhere. So the first Lost Tapes that came out in 2002 was basically of pretty much work he had did between like 1997 and 2001, 2002. And it was an incredible album. Really love Lost Tapes. The first one, still listen to it. And it was critically acclaimed. So now we come to today where he put out Part 2, Lost Tapes 2. Now this album consisted of material that didn't make albums from, I'm gonna say from my understanding, from about the year 2006 to up to this year, or I would say maybe up to last year. So from 2006 to about 2018, 2019. So if you know Nas, you know the albums. If you follow Nas, you know the albums he put out in those years. If you didn't, the name of those albums he put out between 2006 and 2018 were, got all this, I know this in my head, but I got it written down just in case. Hip Hop is Dead, which was 2006, I believe. He had another album called, it's called, I'm just telling you what the name of the album is. Technically it's called the Nigger album, but for obvious reasons they couldn't put that on the cover, so unofficially it's called the Untitled album. And I believe that was 2009, maybe 2008, but I think 2009. Then he did another project called Distant Relatives, which was with one of the Marley sons. That was 2010. That was followed by Life is Good, which was 2012. And then last year he did an album, a collab with Kanye. I don't know if you follow Kanye or Kid Cudi or Tiana Taylor. They put out last summer. They put out all of them released the album, 7 songs long, and they all came out in back-to-back weeks. And that started off with the first album that came out in that series with Pusha T. So anyway, not gonna make this review too long because I've seen a lot of reviews on albums. That's one thing I do on YouTube, and sometimes they 40 minutes long and they go through every single song, which is cool, but it's not really what I want to do. So we'll start with Lost Tapes 2. So I get the album. I'll set the scene for y'all. I'm in New York, and if you're on the East Coast, we've been going through a heat wave. Today is July 21st, and this heat wave started like on the 19th or whatever. It's like Thursday, plus 90 degrees. I think it was 98 degrees today. And I ain't talking about the singing group 98 Degrees. Yeah, I know about pop culture too, pop bands too. And I had to do a lot of running around. I haven't been feeling well, so this album really helped me get through running around in this heat on top of not feeling well. And when a Nas album comes out, I'm always super hyped to go. I'm ready to go. I'm charged up, and especially I say over the last, let's say 5 or 6 years, because usually he would put out an album every year or every other year, but he's older now, and he has so many other things going on with business, so doesn't put out albums as much. But let's get into it. So to go back a little bit, last year was a lot of hype around the Nasir album because everybody was like, oh, this is the collaboration with Kanye. You got one of the greatest producers. You got one of the greatest rappers. They're going to come together. They're going to make this unbelievable album. And it didn't quite work out that way. And I'm not going to go into a whole Nasir album review. I'm just giving a little backstory before we get to this one. And Nasir was met with mixed reviews. Most people thought it didn't meet expectations. I would agree with that. Although I thought it was better than what a lot of other people gave it credit for. Because some people, they heard it like once or twice and they was like, I'm out. And didn't go back. And it was one of those albums where at first, especially if you're a Nas fan, it didn't really hit you because it didn't sound like a typical Nas album. But after I listened to it more and more, it got a lot better. But it still didn't meet the expectations that I had and most people had coming into it. So Lost Tapes 2, I didn't quite know what to expect, but I turned it on, and from the jump, I was in. The first song on there, No Bad Energy, it was just something about the beat and the way he was flowing. It was like the perfect setup for the album. And once again, remember, this is an album of unreleased material from like over the last 7 years or whatever, 10 actually longer than 2006, over the last 13 years. So this isn't an album that you put together on purpose at one time to go together. These are random songs over a 12-year period, and you don't necessarily know which period they came from. Even though if you know Nas, there's certain songs I could listen to in the vibe, I might be like, this from this era, or something they said on it, like a lyric they may have still used on another album. But No Bad Energy, the first song on the album, really set the album off right. And especially like this one part, I don't remember all the lyrics yet. That's when albums really get good to me, rap albums, when I know all the lyrics. But he got like this line, he was like I'm gonna mess it up, but it was a good line at the end. And so that set the album off dope. And he got another song in there called Vernon Family. And one of my favorite lines in Vernon Family was when he said, but if I was in the Juice Crew, we would have won. That's a little history. If you go way back to the Juice Crew with MC Shan, Marley Marl, and all them, that was a reference to when they had the rap battle beef with KRS-One, Boogie Down Productions, and everybody said KRS-One pretty much ended MC Shan's career, and MC Shan was like the guy at the time, part of the Juice Crew, along with Marley Marl being the top producer at that time in hip hop. So that line caught me like stunting on him a little bit, like, yeah, Juice Crew lost, but that's because I wasn't part of them yet. I was too young. He got a song on there called the Jarreau Rap. If you know Al Jarreau, he's like a jazzy R&B type singer. It was big, I'm saying the 70s, 80s. I remember listening to him a lot as a kid. My parents listened to him. And it's basically Nas rapping over like a jazz type beat. And that was actually the first song I heard because Nas put that out on Instagram. And I didn't like it at first because it sounded strange. It sounded off. Something about the beat and the way he was rapping over. And it's a difficult beat to rap over because it's not really a rap beat. It's more of a jazz beat. But even that song, after I listened to it a few more times and hearing it in the context of the album, that song I even dig a whole lot more than initially. He got a song on there called Tenasia. Let me give you a little backstory also. It's a lot of dope producers that did these songs. I think Swiss Beats is credited on the album, Pharrell, RZA from Wu-Tang, Kanye West as well, No ID, and I believe it was another, Pete Rock, from Pete Rock, CL Smooth. So anyway, Tenasia, which RZA did, that was a dope song. It's kind of talking about like a girl, and he's saying she's either, from Queensbridge or she's from Asia. It's just a dope. It's the beat, the way he flowed over, the way Nas is great with telling those stories. So I really like that song. I'm not gonna go through every song. 16 songs on the album. I say out of those 16, I really, really like 13 of them. And even the other 3 were still good, but like it was really like, I say 12 or 13 out of the 16 that really I was like, yo, them type songs where you listen to twice in a row, no matter what. He got a song called Highly Favored, which is dope. I like the production on it. I like the flow on it. He got a song called Queen's Wolf, and just the way the beat plays, it kind of makes me feel like you watching a movie and like somebody is like, going through a scene in the movie where they kind of reminiscing or whatever. It's just the way the beat plays on it. One of the more interesting songs is one called Queensbridge Politics, and he talks about Prodigy of Mobb Deep R.I.P. Prodigy, also one of my favorite rappers from one of my favorite groups, Mobb Deep. And he talks about how Prodigy's mural that they put up in Queensbridge, how it got vandalized after Prodigy died. And he just talks about the politics, because backstory on that, Prodigy put out a book about his life. This is maybe 5-6 years ago. And that book told a lot of inside stories and stuff that went on in Queensbridge, involved a lot of rappers, a lot of street legends. And a lot of people was disappointed in Prodigy because he felt like, one, you gave your perspective on stuff, on these events, and maybe they didn't necessarily happen exactly like that. And also, some people felt it was dry snitching a bit. But if you know Nas and Mobb Deep, they Queensbridge, they both go back to the beginning of their careers in the early '90s. So I really dug that. And, I took it as him saluting and giving Bandana P Prodigy his props. So I really, that's the type of music that really hit me the hardest, especially with rap. And that's one of the reasons why I love Nas, because Nas don't do a lot of interviews, but if you listen to his music, he's great at telling you things he's going through in his life through his music. He got a song on here called Beautiful Life, which I believe is the last song on the album, and he talks about, again, his life. He talks about, the mother of his first child. And he also talks about Khalees, the singer Khalees he was married to. So he talks about some of the things that they went through. And it was a kind of autobiography type of song, and that's the last song on the album. But it's a lot of dope songs on here. He got a song called Lost Freestyle, which is dope. I really enjoyed the production. His lyrics was up to par on this. Like, it's really, Nas always got lyrics. The biggest gripe with Nas usually is his beat picking. That's probably my only gripe with him. Is that, an MC of his caliber throughout his career, he's had a lot of dope beats, don't get me wrong, a lot of dope production, but it could have been even greater because he's your Nas. Like, you could get any producer you want, not just some regular rapper. But either way, that's just like, that's like a piece of lint on the Mona Lisa to me, because even when beats aren't great for Nas, his lyricism, his delivery, his content is always, is always super dope to me. Even when he went through his, I guess people say his mainstream phase when he was doing songs like You Owe Me and Uchi Wally, like, I never got like why Nas not allowed to do that. Like, he's a grown man, he's rich, he's famous. Do every song gotta be some grimy, lyrical, serious song? Like, who the hell lives like that? Who don't have fun? Who don't want to make songs and talk about their life, the fun they've had with partying and women and, and like, damn, he can't have fun? And I feel like Jay-Z don't get that same, Jay-Z don't get that same disrespect. It's like, when it comes to Nas, it's like, people are like, oh, it better sound like Illmatic or We Disappointed. I'm like, damn, can't that man, like, have fun on a song also? But, it is what it is. But all in all, if we going off I still go off, I'm old school, I still go off the source reading. For kids that don't know, that used to be the hip-hop gospel magazine. Well, this before everything was online. So I still go off that, 5 mics was considered, like, if you got an album with 5 mics, that's considered a classic, unbelievably great album. If you got 1 mic, it was trash, you know what I mean? So if we go off that, out of the 5 mic system, I would give Nasir, I would give Lost Tapes 2. I would give it 4 mics. Super dope, man. Like I said, 16 songs, at least 13 of them I really loved, and even the other 3 were good. So, it's available on all streaming sites. So, check it out, leave a comment, let me know how you feel about it. That's my review on the Lost Tapes. I know some people was like, do a Lion King review. I've never even seen the Lion King movie, the original one. Nothing on Broadway. This is just not mine. I don't know. So I won't be doing a Lion King movie or soundtrack review. It's not my lane. No offense to the Lion King. Not that they give a damn about me. I know some people in my life, they kings of lion, if that makes sense. But yeah, so that's my review of Nas The Lost Tapes. Check it out. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you agree, if you disagree, if you think I'm tripping. And, you really got to salute, people like Nas and Jay-Z as far as hip hop, because, Nas first not album, but his first debut on somebody else's album, Back to the Grill Again. That was 1991. So we talking almost 30 years. And Jay as well, them two guys, they're the two best rappers of all time to me. And for them two to be around for so long and still can make music that people want to hear and still be, neither one of them are at this point as good as they were in their prime, but they're still, pretty much better than everybody out, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So check them out for yourself. Salute to Nas. Thank you, my brother, for giving us another, some more great material for me to rock out to in this hot ass heat wave we going through. And, going through a lot with some family stuff right now. So it's good to have some new Nas music to vibe out to and take my mind off, the ills of the world. Nas, Lost Tapes 2, check it out. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Tell a friend. OS Sports Podcast. I'm going to do another video tomorrow about the Mayweather-Thurman fight. So stay tuned for that. All right? Peace.